Today we're going to talk about Ēvolvō, a fitness brand with a fascinating story. It started from one person's passion and is now staring down a huge question. Do you stick with personal coaching, or do you go all in on selling products to the whole world? It's a classic founder's dilemma.
And really, it all comes back to this one quote from the founder, Daniela Suarez. You see, for her, this was never just about building a business. It was about making a real, personal connection. That single idea is the heart and soul of the brand. And it's also what makes growing it so incredibly tricky.
So to really get a handle on the choices Ēvolvō is facing today, we've got to go back. We need to see how Daniela's own story pretty much wrote the company's DNA from day one.
What's so cool is that her approach was never just about lifting weights. Even while she was studying something as intense as marketing and finance at a top university, she saw fitness as a way to connect the mind and the body. And that idea, that became everything for the brand.
And she didn't waste any time putting that philosophy into action. I mean, look at this timeline. In 2016, she wins a major bodybuilding competition. Bam! Instant credibility. Just a year later, she's certified and already has her first client. And check this out. She was using Instagram to build her client list way back then. That was super forward thinking.
Okay, so this is where the story takes its first huge turn. She makes this massive bet, it pays off big time, and then, boom, she runs straight into a global crisis.
With her client list getting longer and longer, she decided to go all in. We're talking a physical, brick-and-mortar studio right in downtown Montreal. That's a super competitive market, going up against all the big gym chains. A huge risk.
And would you look at that? The risk paid off, big time. 400 members in just the first 3 months. This was proof that her unique approach wasn't just some small niche thing. People were hungry for it.
But then 2020 happened. I mean, this timeline is just wild. The studio opens in January. Total hit. By March, government lockdowns force it to shut down. But here's the amazing part. Instead of giving up, by the end of that same year, she'd completely reinvented her business online and was already launching her first physical products. Incredible.
So what could have been a complete disaster actually became this huge catalyst. It forced a change that took Ēvolvō from being a favorite local spot in Montreal to a global online community.
She just doubled down on what she did best, making authentic, helpful content. She started pouring all her energy into YouTube, creating these amazing workout videos that connected with a massive audience all over the world who were stuck at home and looking for exactly what she offered. And the results were just wow. Almost 250,000 subscribers by the middle of 2024. YouTube wasn't just a side gig anymore, it was the new heart of the business.
This chart really shows you the power of that move online. Her studio in Montreal could only reach so many people, right? But her YouTube channel, it's everywhere. The biggest audience is in the US. But look, India, the UK, Canada, the crisis unlocked a market that was just astronomically bigger.
And all those views started turning into real money in a few different ways. You've got the standard ad revenue from YouTube, of course, but her influence also led to huge sponsorship deals with brands like Reebok. And get this, her online fame made her one-on-one coaching so desirable that she had this massive, high-paying wait list. So now she has this huge global community, and they start asking for something new. And that leads us to the next big evolution for Ēvolvō, getting into physical products.
And this is what I find so interesting. She didn't start selling stuff because a business consultant told her to. She did it because her community was literally asking for it. They wanted the gear she was using, and she thought, you know what? I can make a better version of that. It came from a genuine place.
And this was the very first product, the booty bands. She saw that a lot of bands out there were these cheap, flimsy plastic things that would snap. So she designed a premium version made of durable fabric that was way more effective and versatile. She basically just solved a problem her audience was having.
After the bands took off, she moved into apparel, and this is where she was super smart about her positioning. Look at this chart. At $56, her leggings are way better quality than the fast fashion stuff, but they're still a lot cheaper than a super premium brand like Lululemon. She found the perfect sweet spot.
Okay, let's get into the numbers, because this is where things get complicated for her. Those resistance bands, they are a gold mine, a massive 75% profit margin. Leggings are really strong too, at 50%. But then you have the yoga mats. They're big, they're a pain to ship, and the margin is way lower, only 32%.
And this right here is the puzzle she has to solve. The bands have the best percentage profit,
They're super efficient, but the leggings, they actually bring in more cash with every single sale, over $28. So what do? Do you focus on the product with the best margin or the one that brings in more money per unit? It's a tough call.
And all of that brings us right here, to today. This whole incredible journey of starting small, pivoting, and growing like crazy has led to some really complex choices about what to do next.
So it all boils down to this. As a founder, your time and your energy are the most valuable things you have, right? And now Daniela has to make some hard decisions about where to point that energy to take her company to the next level.
So here it is, the big conflict. Does she focus on the personal training, that high-touch service that's the absolute soul of her brand? Or does she lean into the product business, which can scale up and reach millions of people she'll never even meet?
And if she does go the product route, what's the move? Do you go all in on those super profitable resistance bands? Do you try to expand the apparel line since it brings in more cash per sale? Or do you make the tough call and just get rid of the low-margin mats altogether? But you know, all those other questions, they really all lead back to this one. The absolute magic of Ēvolvō has always been Daniela's personal, authentic connection with her community. As the business gets bigger and bigger, how do you scale a feeling? How do you grow without losing the very thing that made you special in the first place? That, right there, is the billion-dollar question.